What's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all been well. Hope you guys had a great Christmas, got to spend some time with family, friends, and loved ones. Recently I've been thinking like what I was gonna try and do for some kind of bed storage. I didn't want to do a full bed rack, and I didn't want to do a toolbox. I was just trying to find something kind of low profile, something slick, something that can still hold a decent amount of stuff without taking up too much space or looking too crazy. I don't need like a full rack or anything like that. So I was looking around, found something on All-Pro. I ended up picking up the All-Pro Overland, like modular, I don't know what it's called, bed rack, I guess, like whatever it's called. I guess you can call it that. It's almost like a basket. And I just picked it up and I painted it, and this is kind of how it looks. So this is actually the bottom of it, so it's gonna be the other way around. And what it does is it sits kind of right behind the cab, and it'll probably be about this much of the bed. And what I like about it is it's kind of like having a toolbox, but you still have space to put things under it, because it's only like maybe 3 inches, and it sits right in the bed rail. So you mount it to the bed rail and it just sits pretty tight and high enough. So I'm gonna be mounting that in my truck, and I'll show you guys the process. It's not a crazy install or anything like that, but you guys can kind of get an idea of what it looks like when it's actually mounted on the truck, and my thoughts on it. For this first portion of the install, we're going to be removing anything that you have in the bed rails, so we can slide in the piece to bolt to. So if you didn't lose them already, you take these caps off, just push down, they pop out. I have a few of these like factory mounts, or the tie downs. So I'm going to take that out, and then I also have a ring that I'm going to be taking out. All right, so for the next step, what we're going to be doing is installing the hardware. They have like these brackets that have threads in them, and these are going to go slide into the rail. And then the hardware they give you, these are 13mm bolts, and they give you lock washers. So anytime you're using lock washers, it's going to be bolt, lock washer, and then a flat washer going into whatever you're screwing it into. So that'll hold it. And they give you 4 of these pieces, so it's going to be 2 on each side, and then 6 bolts. So we'll get that set up, and then we'll be able to line up the rack and kind of get it started for now. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a slight gap between the rail and the rack itself. Slight. And I think if I were to tighten all the bolts down, it would kind of pull the rack on the sides and kind of stretch it. So All-Pro thought about this, and they include these spacers, and they pretty much just slot in. So at least it kind of cleans up that gap, and then it should be able to bolt a little nicer. So this is kind of how it looks now that it's all installed. You can see like it's super low profile, and it can fit a pretty decent amount of stuff on here. You can put like some kind of pack outs if you wanted to do it, like any type of storage containers, gas cans. Kind of leaves it up for you, whatever you want to store on there. I have some ideas that I might come out with a part 2 on this video, what I'm planning to do. For now, I think I'm gonna mount my high lift jack and maybe my traction boards. Let's try and figure that out. So I kind of got the stuff, or the main stuff, mounted so far. I have my high lift jack and I have my traction boards kind of in a temporary spot. I don't know how I want to mount them yet. So I picked up these, I guess, high lift jack mounts on Amazon. They seem pretty solid, you know. They hold the jack nice and level. I'm still waiting for the piece to come in that'll keep the bar in place. I just have it zip tied for now, just so it doesn't move all over the place. And then I put my traction boards under the rack itself, and then I have a ratchet strap just holding it up. And then, you know, it's solid, it's not gonna move. And then it's kind of easy to deploy and take out if I need it. So yeah, it's kind of how it looks. I think it looks nice and low profile. It's pretty subtle. I didn't need anything too crazy. And yeah, so what I used to paint this, because it comes raw, you can actually get it powder coated, but I don't really like powder coat too much, because, you know, when it gets dinged up and stuff like that, it's a little harder to touch up. So I picked up this stuff from the Salt Gone website, and I tried it on my flex ramp to see kind of how it is. And it's this stuff called Thixotrop, and it's a water-based coating, I guess, but it's really thick. It's almost like a 2-part epoxy in a sense, because it's really thick and it layers really nice. So when it dries, it's nice and sturdy, it's thick, it's easy for me to touch up if I need to, because I just gotta, you know, throw more on it. It'll dry just fine, and you can brush it on, spray it on. Super easy to do. I also picked up this stuff from their website just to see how that was, and it was like this Rust Gone. It actually works really well. So if you have like flaking rust or spots that are rusting, you kind of just rough it up with either a wire wheel or like a metal brush, and then just loosen up all the big stuff, and then you paint that on, and it has the chemical reaction where it neutralizes the rust, and then it almost seals it with a really subtle clear coat, and it just seals everything. And then after that, you can paint right over with that Thixotrop, and it comes out really nice. So I'll kind of show you guys what the flex ramp looks like, because when I got it, it was just bare and it was starting to have some rust. So when I painted it, I did the corrosion, the Rust Gone, and just painted the whole thing, neutralized everything, and then that was like a little base coat. And I pretty much painted 1 coat of the Thixotrop, and it's super thick, so it's like, it dried really well. I don't know, so far I like it. So I mean, that's what I've been using for like the small metal stuff that I've been painting lately, and you know, I like it. So yeah, but I think I'm gonna start adding a little more stuff to this rack in another part 2 video, most likely. I'm still trying to think of some mounting solutions and kind of work that out. That most likely will be it for this video. You know, I hope that kind of gave you an idea of different options you could use for bed mounting, or like some kind of rack that's simple and more low-key. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all the things. Check out the website, the Instagram. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and thanks for watching. Shoots.